Hey, most are welcome back to another Poem Mass video, and today let's talk a bit about, well, I guess, both of these at the same time, just because I forgot to do Olympia one, 2 days ago, and, we do have Drasna dropping tonight, which I will be, unfortunately, pulling, as well, so, to tune in for that, I guess. I don't know, with what gems, I don't know yet. I'll get them from somewhere, I don't know. So yeah. Let's just quickly go over Olympia first. As you guys already seen, Olympia pretty good, right? Already tried her out. She's as good as advertised. She's amazing. She's amazing. She does a lot of big damage, low gauge. That's what I like to hear from damage dealers, right? Like doing big damage is it's not a bad thing, but you know, if you do big damage and then you don't, it costs your team gauges, all that stuff. I'm not sure how much I like that, right? You know, even something like the recent-ish units, like the Rose, which I still think that Rose is a really powerful unit, right? It's probably my, I don't know, it's between the Rose and the Oleana. Those two are really nice, but still, right? Low gauge cost, massive damage, right? So good unit. All right. As a quick overview, there's nothing much to talk about the stats. They are what they are. Store power, again, just it's 2 gauges, does very good damage. Right? So the fun thing about this unit is basically you have Calm Mind and Ancient Power, right? And then you combine that with the passive Swag Bag 2, which raises the chance of, you know, raises the chance of raising stat values with additional effect moves, plus P move stat raise times 2. So, for example, P move, the times 2 thing, I know it sounds weird, but whatever. Calm Mind, instead of +1 special attack, special defense, you get +2. And then Ancient Power, you get +2 on all these: attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, all that stuff, right? Times 2. And you have a much higher chance of hitting that, right? Especially if you also pick up the other Swag Bag 2 in the grid, right? Very fun stuff. And then your training move gives you stat reduction defense to your team, and then raises your crit by 3. And then on entry, you also have evasion +6. So like you come in, right? You come in, you get straight up +6 on your evasion. You get +3 crit on your training move, right? You get +6 special attack, and some special defense here as well. The Calm Mind, or you could go for Ancient Power too if you want, and then like boom, you straight up max out stored power incredibly fast, right? Even better if you have support. Although she does not need support to max out, right? And then her sync nuke multiplier is also based on the stats raised, which again, really easy to max out by herself. Again, don't even need any supports. You could easily just max it out herself, right? So that's the really cool thing about her kit. And then as for the grid, right? I mean, again, these are spotlight units, so like eventually, just hope you get them all, I guess, right? It'll take some time, but once you do pull them eventually from the general pool, pulling on other stuff, the grid's good. So basically, 1 out of 5, you get some pretty solid damage with stored power. 3 out of 5, you get even more damage, right? With Smart Cookie over here, Brute Wits over here for your sync. Also pretty good sync too. And then on top of that, 3 out of 5, I feel like 3 out of 5 is where like things get really fun, because you get the super preparation on, actually I think that's 2 out of 5. You get Swag Bag 2 on Ancient Power, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But 2 out of 5, you do get super preparation on Ancient Power, so that's really cool. So you could just Ancient Power, try to fish for the super effective up next, and stored power, then stored power when you get that super effective up next, also those extra stats. Again, might be overkill, you don't really need that many stats for stored power, but it's always fun. And then again, 3 out of 5, you get Swag Bag 2, right? And then Smart Cookie, all these other stuff. You even get what else, like Brain Gain on Trim, although I don't really see using that one too much. But yeah, on top of that, 2 out of 5 also gives you Barricade on Calm Mind, so that would make you get +6 special defense in 2 Calm Minds, and then 3 out of 5 get Ramp Up, so that's +6 special attack in 2 Calm Minds there as well. 2 for if you want free move next. It's only at 30%, so it's not like that big of a deal. So yeah, you got pretty good solid stuff on 2 out of 5 as well, right? Hit and heal. And then obviously you get most of your stuff at 3 out of 5. So as for lucky skills, sync grid, blah blah blah, all that stuff, right? So lucky skills wise, you could just go for damage if you want, right? Crit strike 2, pretty solid, always. Or I don't know, like there's really not much to go for. You just go for either crit strike 2 or like if you want the sync move countdown for some certain teams, you go for that. But otherwise, just go for damage. It's pretty straightforward. You don't even need like the stat buffs on entry. It's overkill. It's overkill. Like you have enough stat buffs yourself. You don't really need all that other stuff, right? So as for the sync grids, at 1 out of 5, pick up everything if you have the orbs. If not, just store power, special attack, speed. Don't really need to pick up ancient power though. Pick up the combined move gauge refresh, I guess. That would be nice. Dauntless maybe, right? But yeah, it's not that big a deal. 2 out of 5. So over here you do have some, again, pretty interesting stuff. You can pick up super preparation on ancient power. Actually, can we afford the move gauge refresh? Let's just see first. Maybe pick up the barricade, right? Pick up the move gauge refresh. Pick up the stored power. It's only 1, but again, it gets it's getting multiplied, right? And then you could pick up the hidden heal. So you got some pretty solid stuff over here going. Again, I don't care too much about the 2 for it's only a 30% chance, and it's a pretty solid gauge unit already. Like the speed itself is not very high. But do keep in mind, you're getting +2 speed every time, you hit one of those ancient power buffs, right? So, and again, the rest of your, they're all 2 gauge moves, right? And if you're running it in psychic teams, there's a lot of psychic teams that are just pretty chill on gauges, so you really do not have to worry. 3 out of 5, there's really like 2 main ones. Personally, I just like this one a lot, where you get the super preparation and swag bag, and then boom, you get like smart cookie over here, and then you go up and pick up brute wits, right? I'd take it over the move gauge refreshes because again, gauges shouldn't be that big of a deal, and the extra stored power +1 is a lot once you multiply it with the multipliers, right? So yeah, you get a nuke here, get DPS stuff here, super effective up. You could fish for that. Swag bag on ancient power. I think this is great. I think it's fun. You could also go for like the ramp up, double down. Like this is more reliable, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Right, do something like this, but I don't know. It's not as fun. The other one's more fun. Do the other one. Okay, so that's basically it for the grid in terms of team comps. This is really nice, right? This is really nice. You got Annie May and Brendan, Singsu Brendan, which them in of themselves is a pretty good combo, right? But yeah, obviously you have the psychic terrain. Mist ball also, low gauge cost once you get that first one in. And then Brendan also has like free move next on that first trainer move. Like it's incredibly low cost, low gauge cost team. And then on top of that, right, if for some reason, you didn't pick up that the ramp up on Calm Mind, and you just didn't get the special attack up on your ancient power, like Anime could, or Brendan could just pick up that slack for you, I guess. It's really hard not to get it herself, right? So that's pretty neat, right? And they debuff the opponent as well, especially the special defense with Singsu Brendan. So this is pretty solid overall, right? As for anything else, you could always go with Bead, right? Because it's freaking champion Bead. And then you have Psychic Train in there, so champion Bead himself could also do some really, really nice damage. Obviously, you could also swap this out for Lana. Lana's really, really nice. Or you could run double stored power, which is not as good, but it's fun, right? She has Psychic Train herself, got stored power. Bead could help her max out her stats and all that stuff. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be fun? I think it'd be fun. So yeah, those are some of the options. They're good, right? And yeah, okay. So that's basically it for this unit. Let's not go over too much stuff, because again, she's already out, and it's a spotlight, so there's not too much to mention in terms of pulling, but again, I usually do not really recommend pulling on spotlights, and I don't recommend pulling here either, unless you're a whale, and if you're a whale, go for it, because she's really, really good, right? If you're a whale, you have all the gems in the world. This is a great unit to get. But yeah, if you're free to play or lowest matter, I would not really recommend. Again, it's a spotlight. Anniversary's coming up. We have some really, really nice limited banners this month as well, right? But mostly because anniversary's coming up. So no, don't really go for it. But like the banner in of itself, this is like a 4.0 out of 10, just because again, spotlights, I just won't give you anything higher than like a 5 out of 10, unless it's just like absolutely next level. You have to have this thing like immediately now. And as much as I think this is a fantastic unit, it's not something you have to like immediately have right now. Just in the future, if you just do pull her from the general pool, pulling on other banners, that's just a fantastic extra to get, right? Just yeah, like it's really good, man. Again, like damage wise, I think she has like more DPS than Sings Who Lose Me, right? Let me go check. Yeah, like oh my god. You know, that's a spotlight, and then you got the big, massive error Sings Who Lose. She hits all opponents obviously with no split damage, which is why she's really good. But Sings Who Lose Me, Leer, right? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. The only unit that does more than her for psychic types is obviously Deoxys, right? Attack form Deoxys. But that's attack form Deoxys. So yeah. But yeah, and again, like psychic type is a type filled with like a lot of good damage dealers. Like look how many 1 million plus damage dealers they have in like psychic, right? That's pretty good. And also as it's just a good unit. It's a good unit, low cost, right? It's yeah. Just you just don't have to pull on her like right now. Is my main point. You don't have to pull on her right now, but if you do get her in the future and like the general pool pulling for other stuff, that's just a really good bonus. Next up, let's talk a bit about Drasna. So Drasna is another spotlight unit, right? And she's again dropping Knight, which I probably will be pulling for on whatever. Anyways, ESL. And this unit is it's interesting. It got some good things going for it. Definitely got some good things for it. It got some not very good things going for it. So yeah. All right. Let's stat wise, really high special attack, right? Really high special attack. Special defense low key kind of high too for like mainly a damage healer, right? Or slash debuff. I mean, point being, it's not like really a tank, but it has some of that stuff. You could make it a tank if you really want, right? Speed's all right. And you got Draco Meteor, Sludge Bomb, Toxic, your training move, which gives you +4 special attack, +2 crit, super effective up next. So you're missing +2 special attack and +1 crit, right? And then your Sync Nuke over here is based on the opponent being poisoned or badly poisoned. So it's called Infinite Smile Dragon Pulse. Sure, right? Anyways, passive wise, you have super duper effective 5. So you're mainly going to be using her against dragon or poison weak stages. You got super freebie 9. That's really nice, right? So she is like a lot just based on super effective. And then you have team special attack, debuff immunity, which is great because first of all, there are some like stages that are annoying, which comes in and debuffs your special attack. I mean, like the Cobalion does that, right? There's a few master mode stages that do that as well. I think one of the Karen ones do that or something. I don't remember specifically, but anyways, but no, and it's more so you don't have to roll Dauntless on this thing because you have Draco Meteor, right? Debuff your special attack, which you don't have to. At least I'm like 9% sure, right? Yeah. So that's really nice. You could just roll like I don't know, super power 3 or whatever, lucky skill on her or some other stuff. So yeah, that's nice, right? In terms of the grid, 1 out of 5, you do have some of that, you get like the free move next thing, which is really good. As long as you're hitting for super effective, that's nice, and you don't have to worry about the debuff on the Draco Meteor. Damage wise, it's not gonna be really great at 1 out of 5, but I mean, the Draco Meteor damage is solid, right? The Draco Meteor damage is solid. It's okay. Okay, the damage overall is like okay at 1 out of 5, right? We'll get to her downside later, which kind of relates to that and why I'm not sure how to really say this, but anyways, whatever. Let's yeah, 2 out of 5. You get hidden heal, which is, it exists, right? Like, yeah, you got like quick here. Like you could do like you could make her a tank. Although that would be more 3 out of 5, because at 3 out of 5 you do get stuff like opponent sat down, which if you could get the right ones, like, you know, opponent's attack or special attack, with the hidden heal you can maybe tank a bit. I don't know. It's not a good idea. Don't actually make her a tank unless you really have to. But yeah, 3 out of 5 you get Virulent Toxin, that's Sync Nuke, right? Toxic Power 3, Adrenaline as well, Toxic BOGO 9, which isn't that big of a deal. I don't know. Brain Gain 9, and then Sharp Entry. So that's neat. Toxic Ramp Up, I believe, right? So 3 out of 5, if you want her to be like fully self-sufficient stat-wise, and that's where you want to go. You also get a bit of Sync Nuke, get a bit of DPS, you get a bit of some of that debuffing stuff. So I mean, for her, I feel like honestly, she's solid. She's like, you know, she gets most of her stuff already at 1 out of 5. 3 out of 5, obviously, you get a lot of other stuff. 2 out of 5, not so much though. So there's that. But anyways, just hope you're lucky and you just get a lot of pulls in the future for her. Anyways, in the general pool. So, all right. Now let's talk about some of the builds and stuff. Again, Lucky Seal I mentioned before. Super. I can never remember the name, man. Super Power 3, right? Super Power 3, just because she's mostly just fighting super effective anyways. So Maida as well, right? So Super Power 3 there, and I mean, is there anything else? I mean, maybe like Adrenaline 1 if you're picking up Adrenaline or Grid, so you get like double that. If you get like one more, then that's cool, but also, well, but you need Calc in there, so it might not be actually that big of a deal, honestly, now I'm thinking about it. Move gauge refresh, if you're just like some like gauge maniac after just getting like full free move next, you're just getting the rest of your team is just so down bad on gauges. You're getting like net positive gauges every time you use a move. Anyways, it's not that serious. Yeah, just super powered 3, right? should be sufficient. As for the grid, 1 out of 5, again, pretty sure you can pick up everything if you have the orbs. If you don't, then just the Draco Meteor / Sludge Bomb power-ups if you're using Sludge Bomb. Yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 out of 5. So 2 out of 5, there's also not too much, honestly. If you're doing Draco Meteor, just pick up like the Draco Meteor stuff, I guess, right? You could pick up the hidden heal if you want. I prefer to pick up the accuracy on Draco Meteor personally. As for some other stuff, like maybe the special attack, maybe the special attack. What else? Maybe like, I don't know, one of these toxic move gauge refreshers, maybe. There's that, I guess. And Sludge Bomb, you just, you know, pick Sludge Bomb instead of the nodes that have Draco Meteor on it. Pretty simple. Yeah, the rest I don't know. You just put in like some speed, quick cure. Why not? You know what? Quick cure is, I'd say, more commonly used for non-tank units than Natural Remedy, at least. So there's that. 3 out of 5. There's a few ways you could go about this. Depends if you're using her for poison or dragon type damage. Let's just do dragon type damage first, because that's the better one. And by better, I mean like a lot better. So yeah, personally, I like this. I mean, I don't know. It's not in like a terrible place. Like, it is far, but like you're going through it, you pick up like some Draco Meteor stuff anyways, which is, you probably want that stuff. So yeah, so let's say you're trying to like sync with her, right? You could do something like this, get Virulent Toxin, sync move, power up, both ramp up as well over there, which is nice, and then you pick up like an extra Draco Meteor power up. If you're not syncing with her, you could pick up this, I guess, right? Yeah, or wait, do we do the oh no, yeah, Adrenaline as well, right? You could also just go for Adrenaline, which I believe you'd have to drop that, yeah, so you don't get don't get any of the power-ups, but you get Adrenaline, which, if it's mass mode, that's probably good trade, right? I'd say, generally. Yeah, that was the other one. DPS-wise, you just pick, like, again, Toxic Power over here. That, I guess. Just Dracometer power-ups, or, like, the Brain Gain. I don't think it's worth it, though. You don't want to go all the way over here. Just pick this up, and, you know, do out on the other stuff. I'd rather just go pick up Dracometer power-ups, man. Dracometer is pretty good on its own already. Just go pick up power-ups for this thing, okay? So that's that. As for Sludge Bomb, Sludge Bomb, I'm just gonna automatically assuming you're not sinking because it's Sludge Bomb, and your sink is Dragon, right? And there's no, like, you know, like Gauntlet that's like 1 bar is weak to poison, 1 bar is weak to Dragon or whatever, right? At least not yet. So yeah, that's like the main nodes. For the rest, again, you could pick this up. I guess you'd rather take the BOGO over here just because you're not using that at all, but it just costs you like 3 more energy, which you could spend on like an extra Sludge Bomb power up or whatever. But yeah, or if you don't want to bring another support, you could always pick up the ramp up instead, right? I don't know, for some like shorter stage. Obviously you wouldn't have to venture up here at all, so, you know, in this case you probably just pick all these up. There's a few here, right? Special attack up, all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty standard for, I guess, Toxic. Okay, so as for team comp for this unit, you could do something like this, right, where you have Drasna, obviously is Drasna, that's the main unit here that we're trying to discuss, and then Lucas for the Dragon Zone, and then you could have Aura Cynthia to just tank, keep your game alive. Also, she could help buff the what's called the crit, right? So as long as you go down here and pick up the ramp up, you won't have to worry about Cynthia not buffing special attack, because again she could buff your crit, right? Which is that's the thing you really are missing out on over here. So okay, yeah, pick up like focus group down here, and then yeah, you have the master passive with Aura Cynthia and Dialga, right? I guess like the other one, you could go with Champion Calum, but like the thing is, Champion Calum's master passive is for like physical, so he could get some reduced damage, which is nice, but like damage output wise, you're not really giving much for the team because these guys are both like special. So you'd rather just go with something like a Champion Bead, right? You'd rather go with that even. But yeah, just your usual suspects for special supports. Singsu Brandon, Singsu Chris, whatever, right? And obviously it doesn't have to be this guy. It could be like other dragon units, right? If you if you don't have anything else, you get that the Zinnia and then run like Chris there, so you could have just you have the Rain for Zinnia there as well, double, I guess, Draco Meteor units there. What else? This guy's neat. He is physical, but it doesn't really matter that much. I guess you are. No, it doesn't matter that much, right? As long as it's not like 5 out of 5. And you just use Dragon Darts instead of Breaking Swipes. You could run him. What else is a solid fit? She could be a solid fit for a support here as well, because you do have that hype up, right? If you don't want to pick up that ramp up, and obviously you do have the crit maxed out over there, and then Apple Acid for special defense debuffs, and then over here you again run like another damage healer. This case, I don't know what could be good. Just again something like Lucas, something like Serena would be nice. Oh yeah, Serena, forgot about that one. There's that Catalyst Master Passive that we could actually use. Fantastic, right? So yeah, could we get like a full Catalyst team over here? I guess. Yeah, I think the other one's still just Calum. Is there any Kalos supports that we could actually use? Relatively well, like special supports. I mean, we just need +2 special attack. We're not special. You know what? yeah, again, it's just pick the ramp up, man. It's just the ramp up's nice. Yeah, just pick it like any Kalos support, and you get that full Kalos flag bearer, which is not a lot, but you know, something. Xerneas, that's free. So yeah, it's just not very useful though, but it's free. No, don't actually, like, the gauge is not, it's not going to work out. Don't actually do Xerneas. So yeah, I guess those are some, like, for dragons. If you want to do poison, you could do that, I guess. Obviously, Fall Iris, you know, poison zone, right? Support wise, they do fit because they're both special, so that's nice. So you could just run a just fully special support over here. Again, just your usual suspects, right? Things with Chris, things with Brendan, especially along with Fall Iris for multipliers. It's always gonna be nice. So you could do something like that. But I'm not sure how much I'd recommend it. But I mean, if you don't really have anything else, sure, you could run her as a poison damage dealer. So yeah, that brings me to, I guess, one of my issues with this unit. Right, so let's talk about some of those pros and cons, all that stuff. Let's start with some of the pros, I guess. So first of all, it does have 2 types. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's a pro. I feel it's kind of neutral. It's, you know, just like a fact. It has 2 types, factually. It's a great dragon type damage dealer, that's for sure, right? Like, her damage as dragon type, like, that's really, really, really high, even against, you know, other dragon types, which, you know, dragon types have a lot of really, really, really powerful damage dealers, obviously, right? You got the new alt Leon, sings with Serena, all that stuff. But she's basically in the range of the 2 lances, right? Not very, you know, not an incredibly close range, but she's kind of there. And obviously those 2 lances are incredibly powerful damage wise, right? So like that part's pretty good. Her nuke is pretty solid, right? It's a pretty powerful nuke. It's not super hard to do, right? Just poison the opponent, and which she has toxic, right? So that part's pretty easy. And yeah, she's pretty good dragon type damage dealer, right? And then outside of that, again, you do have the status, right? The poison thing, and then free move next versus super effective. That might be my favorite thing about this unit, like just infinite free move next. That's really sweet. That is really, really, really nice. That's obviously, you know, super important if you're trying to, like, use her to solo whatever, right? I mean, there's Latios out there. Bulu, only the middle bar is, but I mean, that's something, I guess. And you know, it's not like she's completely defenseless. She has, well, Bulu is mostly physically defensive, and she's good special defensively. But you know, she got the gradual heals. Yeah. And debuffs maybe. Yeah, she does have debuffs as well. Although I don't think these debuffs are like crazy good, right? It's guaranteed, but it's like one of the random ones per hit, so it's not like anything nuts. It's just in compared to some of the other debuffers we've gotten recently, right? With the alt Leon or even like that Arcanine low key, right? Obviously Garbodor, blah blah, right? A lot of really, really great debuffers. As for some downsides, I guess, her poison damage kind of sucks. It's just not good. It's not good. Yeah, even with toxic power and super duper effective 5, right? Like, this is assuming like the best case scenario for her. It's still not very good. It's just not very good, right? I think it's like around Looker level, which Looker is just pretty bad himself, right? And yeah, which leads to the second point. Pretty much versus super effective only. Like, okay, at least the poison part is pretty much only versus super effective stages. I guess the Draco meter, you could bring it out of super effective. You'd lose the, you know, super duper effective 5, but it's still like runnable, I guess. But yeah, the poison part of this kit is just completely unusable outside of poison stages. And again, even versus poison stages, it's not even that good, unfortunately, right? And again, also do keep in mind, if you go out of super effective stages, even if you're dragon, right, you do have the gauges issues come back to bite you. Again, she's not crazy fast. No, you know, speed buffs, and it's a 3 gauge damage. It's not a 4 gauge, but it's still 3 gauge can still be tough, right? Sometimes. Yeah, so it definitely has some issues. So again, same thing with Olympia. Even though I do think Olympia is a lot better of a unit, right? But it's still like they're both still spotlights. Unless you're a mega whale or you just love this character to death, then just go for it, right? But otherwise, it's not something I'd really recommend going for at the moment. Just hope you get her in a future, you know, general pool pull and pulling on something else. Or I hope you don't get her if you want something else instead, like that Olympia. I mean, she's fine. She's still pretty solid, right? Again, like her dragon type damage is legitimately good, right? And the gauges thing, I think, is fantastic. I definitely do like the gauges thing a lot, right? The free move next thing. It's just, you know, the poison part is it's kind of disgusting in a bad way. But yeah, at least for like a 2023 unit. I'd say like maybe like a 3.7 out of 10, right? Again, spotlight unit, unless you're a mega whale or massive fan, you'll hopefully just get her eventually on pulling on other things. Anniversary's coming, blah blah. Their limited banners are up, so yeah, not. I don't think most people need me to tell y'all if that you know, probably should not go for this one right now. So alright, anyways, yeah, that's for this one, I guess. Hope y'all jumping in, guys. Think in the comments down below, like, enjoy the videos from the channel, some more Pokemon Masters content. One person who will be pulling on this unfortunately later tonight, me, so check it out when that happens. So have fun, good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next one.